Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. This is Mukesh Soni, your favorite YouTuber. Friends, in this video, I'm going to summarize a very interesting article, a very interesting essay that is an autobiographical essay, How I Became a Public Speaker, written by the famous dramatist of 20th century, George Bernard Shaw, or he's also called as G.B. Shaw. So, dear students, if you have the stage fear, if you feel that you can't speak in front of the public, you can't speak in front of anybody, if you have so-called stage fear, I will suggest you watch this video, you read this lesson from the textbook. Definitely, you will get a lot of ideas that how to become a public speaker. So let's summarize the famous autobiographical essay, How I Became a Public Speaker by G.B. Shaw by George Bernard Shaw. This essay is an autobiography in which George Bernard Shaw tells the true story of how he learned public speaking. At first, he was very nervous and shy, but over the time, through hard work, practice, and courage, he became a confident and respected speaker. He explains how he went from being scared to becoming a powerful and successful orator. Look at the difference between speaker and orator. So let's begin it. The very first point. So I have divided the whole essay in about 10 to 11 points. With these points, we'll learn the journey of a public speaker, his first experience with public speaking. Bernard Shaw attended a Jetty-Tickle Society. Jetty-Tickle Society means to say a society which discussed the issues by the method of proceedings by inquiry. So George Bernard Shaw attended a Jetty-Tickle Society meeting with a friend named Lecky. Who is Lecky? William Edward Lecky, an Irish essayist. So he attended this meeting with his friend Lecky, who was from Ireland, Irish essayist, means to say who writes essay. He had never spoken in public. Bernard Shaw had never spoken in public. He knew nothing about how public meeting really works. Though he looked bold and confident on the outside, but he was extremely nervous and he was very shy inside. So during the meeting, he suddenly stood up and he said something. He felt that he had made a fool of himself. He was so ashamed that he made a promise to himself he would join the society, attend every meeting, speak in every debate, and either become a good speaker or fail trying. So, this is a promise he has done to himself. Now, his early struggles and very painful experiences. Bernard Shaw began attending meetings regularly and he used to speak in every debate. Every time he got ready to speak, his heartbeat got very fast, like a soldier is on the war. He couldn't read from notes because he was too nervous to even read what he had written. He always forgot his best points while speaking. Other members probably disliked him, thinking he was proud or very arrogant person. Surprisingly, only three meetings he was asked to chair the meeting. Within three meetings, he was told, now you are the chairman for this meeting. He agreed this chance calmly, but inside his hand was shaking with fear. Still, he had the stage fear, slowly gaining respect. His speeches were not always appreciated. People never used to ignore even his speeches. Even the main speaker usually replied directly to Banasha's points, though not always kindly. Although he had no formal training in economics, he had read the books by John Stuart Mill, Darwin, Tyndall, George Eliot, which helped him from some unique opinions. What did he do? He started developing the reading habits to gain more knowledge. When the society arranged a session on art, Bernard Shaw gave us such a brilliant speech that many members changed their opinion of Bernard Shaw and they start respecting him. His dedication to practice. Bernard Shaw started attending all the public meetings in London where all the debates were being held. He spoke in parks, streets, rallies everywhere. No place was too small or too difficult for him. He just applied all the techniques to speak everywhere. He compared himself to a cowardly soldier who keeps fighting again and again to overcome the fear. Now, he also attended quite literary meetings also, like the New Shakespeare Society, the Browning Society. He joined another debate group called Bedford Society, which was started by Stafford Brooke, Who is a Stafford Brooke? The popular critic, right? Popular critic who is known for his handbook called English Literature. So he started to join all the literary groups now onwards. Slowly his nervousness went away and he became comfortable speaking in public. Now, without notes. Bernard Shaw was invited to give a lecture at a radical club in Woolwich. Okay, he was invited to give a lecture at a radical club in Woolwich. He was worried about how he would speak to a 1 hour, how to speak for 1 hour, when earlier he used to speak only for 10 minutes. So he decided not to write a full speech but to speak extempo. Extempo means let's speak without any notes. The speech was titled Thieves. What is the title of the speech without notes? Thieves. He argued that people who earned income without working, like landlords, were just like thieves. So he spoke for 1 hour very easily. Then onwards, he always spoke extempo without any notes, now becoming a known speaker. For the next 12 years, George Bernard Shaw gave speeches on socialism about 3 times a week. He spoke anywhere he was invited, in the streets, town halls, clubs, even cellars, drawing rooms. Once he gave a speech in Hyde Park during heavy rain. The only audience was 6 policemen and one secretary. He still gave his full speech to keep the policemen entertained. Now he refuses to take money. Bernard Shaw never accepted any money for speaking. He only took the cost of his train ticket, even that only if the place was far away. So he used to take only the train ticket money if he's coming from a good distance or a very noticeable distance. Otherwise, he never used to take money for his speaking invitation. Some Sunday societies wanted to pay him 10 guineas, but he refused if they asked him to avoid the controversial topics. He always speak about controversial topics, controversial politics, controversial religion, and they wanted to give him 10 guineas not to speak on such topics, but he refused. To protect himself on the accusation of being a paid agitator, he sometimes took the money, then donated the same money to the society. Once in Dover, once in Dover, someone accused him of being a paid speaker. Bernard Shaw offered to sell his payment for even for 1 penny also, proving he had come on his own expenses. The man could not answer, and Bernard Shaw won the crowd's support. Learning committee work. Because of his active speaking, Bernard Shaw was invited to join many committees. At first, his ideas were not accepted, so he would resign, like most writers do it. But later, he learned never to resign. He saw that committees usually kept talking without any clear plan. The person who proposes a clear solution at the right time, even if no one fully agrees, becomes a leader because people are desperate to do something. Learning speaking techniques. Bernard Shaw warns that practice alone is not enough. He practiced pronunciation and clarity just like singers practice scales. He advises the future speakers to take lessons in elocution, the speech training from qualified phonetics teachers, not old actors who don't understand modern speech training. So, what was suggestion? He suggested that the future speakers should take training from the qualified phonetics teachers to improve the pronunciation. Don't take trainings from the old actors who do not have the modern speech training. Then, good speech should sound neutral. Good speech should sound natural, not fake, not dramatic. Final year and retirement. Bernard Shaw became so popular that he received more speaking invitations than he could handle. He began to feel bored of repeating the same arguments again and again. He didn't want to become a windbag. Windbag means to say someone who talks a lot but says nothing new. So he didn't want to become a windbag. So what did he do? He decided to speak only on some special occasion. He continued speaking at Fabian Society meetings and in the St. Pancras Borough Council, where he was elected. Bernard Shaw finally retired from public speaking in 1941 when he was 85 years old. How old was he when he retired? He was retired in the year 1941 when he was 85 years old. So in this manner, we can say that this essay, that is the autobiographical essay written by Bernard Shaw himself, how I became a public speaker. Bernard Shaw tells us that he became a great public speaker not because he was born talented, but because he worked hard, he faced his fears, he practiced continuously. His story teaches us that anyone can become a good speaker through dedication, honesty, and courage. So, friends, this is how I have tried my best to summarize the famous essay, How I Became a Public Speaker, which is in the syllabus of second semester BCA General English under Bangalore North University syllabus. And anybody who has a stage fear, I suggest you to read this essay from the textbook and practice, practice, practice. Practice makes everyone perfect. I hope you like this video. Click on the like button, write in the comment box, subscribe the channel if you have not yet done it. Thank you so much. Stay tuned with Mukesh English.